People call for an end of Greek life after reports of sexual assaults at Sigma Nu. We talk to faculty who say enough is enough.
The CSA Director of Production Safety tells us how students can stay safe in the light of the Rust cinematographer death.
Squid Game? No, Date Game. We talked to the founder of a new dating competition inspired by the popular Netflix show. Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
DPS is reporting 4 more assaults off campus since last Friday. Good evening, I'm Gabriella Rudy.
And I'm Marilyn Parra. Students began protesting after 6 sexual assaults were reported last week, all allegedly at Sigma Nu. We go live to Bonnie Lee on the row.
I'm standing at the Sigma Nu on the 28th Street. Behind me is the new friends set up by the fraternity yesterday. Right now, there's no crowd and we haven't seen anyone go in or out the house. The house is surrounded by metal fence with multiple no trespassing sign. Yesterday, Sigma Nu removed all posters and paint over the words written by protesters. To ensure no one's entered the house, a security guard has been hired to stand outside. Over the weekend, hundreds of students gather around the house in support of the victims. People make signs calling out to fraternities and USC, while others place candles on the ground. Since your accusation came out, sorority women are meeting tonight to voice their concern. You can also share your views at the weekly USG meetings at 7 p.m. in the Tudor Campus Center. For Annenberg Media, I'm Bonnie Lee-Tin-Sum. Back to you, Marilyn, in their studio.
This latest controversy is triggering some students to call for a ban on Greek life here at USC. We spoke with an alumna who supported the idea of abolishing the Greek system in a 2020 letter to the Daily Trojan.
The sororities and fraternities at USC, they don't have total control because they are controlled by their national chapters. And even if they want to reform, they don't really have power to. They don't face accountability. I don't know why. I don't know why they're so shielded.
Hashtag abolish Greek life has been popping up across campuses all over the country. We spoke with a USC student about what they think about it.
I think it's the university's responsibility to discuss all possible allegations with the fraternities and sororities in question.
I don't think Greek life should be abolished, but I do believe that the fraternities and the members do need to be held accountable because historically they have not been. And the university as a whole should take a deeper look into restructuring the way that Greek life is.
Over the last few years, many schools across the country have attempted to abolish campus Greek life. Only a handful of small liberal arts colleges have been successful.
USC faculty members are taking a stand in support of the survivors. Some professors expressed opinions on the university's handling of this issue and its prevalence within our community.
I've been here for 27 years, and this is nothing new.
It's never the victim's responsibility to keep themselves from being raped, right? And we need stronger condemnation of what's happened.
You know, we're a private university. If this were UCLA or Berkeley or wherever, a public university, we would have a lot more access, knowledge, information, and faculty governance. Being in front of Sigma Nu makes a statement, but I think students have made that statement very well. But I think we need to get in the face of administrators now.
The group Concerned Faculty is planning a teach-in on Friday, which will be followed by a march to Boulevard. Their intention is to pressure the administration to take action.
Now, Gabby, going back to what the professor said, the turnout in front of the student turnout in front of Sigma Nu was really big. There was hundreds of students out there, and why do you think that is?
So, Marilyn, when I spoke to Professor McPherson this morning, she had mentioned that these current students at USC have lived through the #MeToo movement, as well as the George Tyndall sexual assault scandal right here on our campus. So there's a lot of built up rage regarding this whole issue. And so for the over 500 men and women that showed up to the protest last night, she believes that that was them saying enough is enough and just expressing all of that accumulated rage.
I very much agree. And if you're looking for a way to express your feelings, a USC student started an Instagram page called USC Me Too for students to share their sexual assault and harassment stories anonymously. ATVN spoke with the founder about the page. She asked for us to not reveal her identity.
A lot of people are going through it for the first time. And I thought that if you can do it anonymously, you're more free-willed to be able to talk about your experience. No matter if it's like you're being stigmatized, you're a man or you're a woman, or you're scared of what's going to happen to you, they put their foot down and tell their stories, and they are incredible.
Members and non-members of USC student organization FLOW and the Student Coalition Against Sexual Violence marched from USC Village to USC Frat Row to create a safe space for discourse and to stand in solidarity with the victims of sexual assault.
The university on the East Coast that I was at used a lot of the same tactics that I'm now seeing here on the West Coast at USC. It's showing to me that this is a national and international issue.
The whole point right now is to get the whole USC student body kind of behind survivors and victims, and physically show their support.
I'm hoping that admins say something. I think it's just really ridiculous that it has to it took this many tries and this many cases for a protest of this size to happen.
USC FLOW and other organizations from the Student Coalition Against Sexual Violence hope the discussion continues and is asking that the university provide for more sexual harassment training and assault.
With the recent protests, many wonder if organized efforts are being inclusive of diverse voices. Some students say missteps have been made in regards to uplifting survivors of every background.
In a group chat I was in, someone said that the energy they got from the protest was very Susan B. Anthony-esque, and I was like, yeah, it gave the energy that it's a women's issue, we're all out here for women, but only a specific type of woman.
As people of color, as members of the LGBTQ community, they were shut down by members of the coalition and FLOW, by those dressed in red, for using language.
When it comes to these protests and when it comes to everything that we're doing for to stand against Greek life, I feel a lot of it's performative, in terms of people will go and say that they went, but don't check their friends who are rapey or don't check the people that they surround themselves.
One student also shared that they didn't even want to join last night's protest because they felt like it was too focused on white feminism as opposed to intersectional feminism.
The movie Rust is pausing production indefinitely. Authorities are investigating the prop gun misfire that killed the head cinematographer and injured the film's director. Assistant director Dave Halls handed actor Alec Baldwin the prop gun, saying it had no live rounds. Halls was previously fired from a 2019 production after a crew member suffered a minor injury due to a gun misfire. The day before the incident, crew members reported 2 other accidental discharges. The death of cinematographer Halee Hutchinson is sparking conversations about on-set safety. USC's director of physical production told us film work should never put lives at risk.
All life is precious, Omar, even animals. We don't kill animals at USC. Nothing dies for film. It's a movie, man. It's not worth it. In all stunts, in all activities, there comes 1 second where you can't stop what is happening. And if in that second something goes wrong, man, your life can change in a heartbeat.
Wollaston says USC students don't handle a gun with an unblocked barrel until their capstone, and even then it's under the supervision of an armorer. One film student told us that's just one of the many safety protocols in place when filming on campus.
I'm about to shoot something this weekend, and I'm shooting it in a bathroom in SEA. Very chill, whatever. And I'm having to do all this stuff. I'm having to do all this COVID protocol, and people get tested and show their vaccination cards, and I have to get forms signed by all these people, and it feels like a lot of work, but it's that's how we keep people safe, So I think it's a reminder of why we do those things.
USC's director of physical production says live ammunition has no place in production, and that's on his set. Safety procedures are enforced to prevent any dangerous accidents from happening.
Latinx representation is still lagging behind when it comes to positions in front and behind the camera. A UCLA study found that only 6% of all TV roles are represented by Latinx actors. Film students at USC aren't surprised.
I think there's a lack of diversity for like all groups of minorities, not just Latinos, you know, black people, LGBTQ. Definitely need more representation for, you know, all types of people.
I definitely feel like there's a lack of diversity within the industry as it pertains to Latinos. And I think one of the best things we can do to combat that is to hire more Latinos in higher up positions, whether that be directors or, you know, screenwriters, producers, just getting our stories made, getting our stories out there so that they become the norm.
Despite the lack of representation, the study found people of color are slowly making gains in 9 out of 12 job categories, including directing and writing. A climate change expert talks about how despite yesterday's rainstorm, this will be the driest year in history for California.
The Latinx community on Olvera Street prepares for Dia de los Muertos. Stay tuned to learn how to build an altar.
A new dating game comes to USC. The theme, Squid Game. Find out how you can play.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
The Mexican community is ready to celebrate El Dia de los Muertos on November 1st and 2nd. It is a lively celebration that honors the dead. It is a Latin American tradition that combines indigenous Aztec rituals with the Catholic religion. The celebration was supposed to start on Olvera Street yesterday, but it was postponed until today because of the rain. Between Saturday and Monday, altars will be set up in individual homes. Those are called ofrendas. Community altars will also be set up in public places.
It's an evento que se hace cada año.
It's an event that is done every year. Participants walk around the stalls here in Olvera Street where Aztec dancers perform. For us, it's an annual 9-day celebration. It starts October 25th and ends November 2nd.
Each of the businesses puts altars, and on the 30th, we will set community altars in the plaza, which will be up for 4 days.
Here's how to make an altar at home. It should have 2 or 3 levels, add Mexican flowers called quemachichil to decorate the edges, include white candles to illuminate the altar, and display photographs of loved ones who have passed. The smash hit Squid Game is spawning spin-offs of all sorts. Entertainment reporter Halee Anderson is here to show us a game spreading across campuses in Southern California.
The global hit Squid Game has given the streaming giant Netflix another binge-worthy show. And if you've seen the players in their red suits around campus, you might want to take one of those cards. It's an invitation to the latest Squid Game spin-off created by USC alumnus Mony Batmukht. The former finance student built a dating app with his co-founder and thought USC would be the perfect launching pad. With an early rollout at UCLA and 5 more SoCal campuses this week, Mony's dating game is ready, player go. Students get a card like the one on Squid Game and can download an app to join the dating site. Fortunately, students won't have to worry about being eliminated from the date game if they don't receive enough votes. I spoke with Babiak to learn more about how the hit show inspired him.
Squid Game is so popular right now, and with this outfit, handing out the cards, is a pop culture reference. I could see that students are just like smiling, they know what's going on. This is a perfect timing. Halloween is coming up. Squid Game is #1 in Netflix. Everybody's talking about it.
Babiak says the premise of Squid Game gave him a new idea for reinvigorating the online dating genre. And with less murder, of course, I spoke with USC students to get their take on this new approach to finding love.
I think it's pretty clever. I'm honestly surprised at how fast this took off. Squid Game, I feel like just came out, so I'm surprised that there's already a concept out for this.
Well, the marketing is 10 out of 10. Like, the costumes definitely caught my eye. I've never even seen Squid Games, but like I could tell like that's what they were dressed up as. And then the little cards, I don't know, it's just the branding is very well planned out, and I think it caught a lot of people's eyes. So
counterintuitive, because like you just want to match with a bunch of people. But if you're in a dating app, aren't you supposed to like try to find one person? I don't know.
If you missed out on grabbing a date game card, don't worry. Visit usc.dategame.io to sign up for your chance to win the cash prize. The game begins tomorrow night, starting at 9 p.m. So, Arath, did you get one of those cards? And are you interested in dating or the money?
Halee, I'll tell you this. I did get a card, I did sign up, and I'm for sure taking a dub. Either way, things are getting scary over here. Halloween week is here. History rained yesterday, so get ready for some winds that will pick up tomorrow. A little chilly today. Our current conditions are looking at 66 degrees and an issued surf advisory, so watch out for those waves. Moving on, let's look at our spooky 5-day forecast. As the winds start to pick up, temperatures pick up as well. We go from a 69 highs of today to a warm up to 81 on Wednesday. Highs well above the average on Thursday. But as we approach the spooky weekend, temperatures lower, leaving us with a beautiful condition to celebrate Halloween and other traditions. Yesterday, we experienced what state water officials call the first big storm of the season. The storm marked a welcome change for a parched California after a year of intense heat and drought. But this heavy rainfall comes with its shared problems. I spoke with a USC coastal scientist to learn more.
We've historically, even in the last decade, had several series of droughts. Reservoirs have been at all-time lows, and so rain events like this associated with atmospheric rivers can really help pull the region out of drought. But they also come with the chances of increased flooding and also mudslides.
Grubbs emphasized the importance of climate education, recommending that people stay current with what's happening to the environment. Crazy stories, scary stories, Halloween coming up. That's it for the weather. Presley, how hot would the World Series be tonight in Houston?
Game 1 of the World Series just started. Stay tuned for a live score update and our takes. Carson Palmer started rumors about Mike Tomlin being a head coach for USC. Hear what Tomlin has to say. The Lakers start their first road trip of the season against the San Antonio Spurs tonight.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah.
Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah, Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
The Atlanta Braves and Houston Astros are squaring off in Game 1 of the World Series tonight. Framber Valdez is pitching for the Astros and Charlie Morton for the Braves. It's the top of the second inning, and the Braves are up 2-0, courtesy of a Jorge Soler solo homer and an Austin Riley RBI double. The Astros had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the first, but came up empty.
Mike Tomlin has zero interest in coming to USC. Today, the Steelers head coach shot down rumors he was interested in the Trojans head coaching job. Former USC QB Carson Palmer started the rumors last night on the Dan Patrick Show.
Hey guys, I don't have time for that speculation. I mean, that's a joke to me. I got one of the best jobs in all of professional sport. Why would I have any interest in coaching college football? That'll be the last time that I address it. And not only today, but moving forward. Never say never, but never.
Mike Tomlin has a pretty good job right now. He's the longest tenured coach in the NFL, and he won 1 Super Bowl with the Steelers in his 14 years in Pittsburgh. And his last college coaching job, all the way back in 2000 with the Cincinnati Bearcats. So Skyler, what do we think about the coaching position? Who's going to be taking it over? Because it's obviously not Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, absolutely. No kidding. So I think there's something going on in Kansas City right now. Eric Bieniemy, SoCal kid, originally rumored. Kansas City Chiefs are 3-4, and there's a storm there. This is the perfect time for USC to swoop in and get Eric Bieniemy, get some NFL experience.
You know, I agree. He's no stranger to SoCal or the Pac-12. I think he would be a great choice.
The Lakers are back in action tonight, taking on the Spurs in San Antonio. LeBron James is out with a sore ankle as the Lakers turn to their other stars, Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. The Lakers are up 13-8 against the Spurs. Anthony Davis leads the way with 6 points for the Lakers. Still lots of game left, but the Lakers are looking to reach the 500 mark on the young season.
DeMar DeRozan is tearing it up with the Chicago Bulls. Kicking off the NBA season, the Bulls have the best record in the league with DeRozan to thank. The past 4 games, DeRozan's points have put the Bulls over the top. DeRozan's averaging 22.5 points and nearly 6 rebounds per game. This is the best start we've seen from the Bulls since the mid-90s when Michael Jordan was on the team. Another Trojan is balling it out in the NBA. Evan Mobley is living up to preseason Rookie of the Year buzz. The Cavs forward is averaging 14 points and 8 rebounds per game. Mobley posted a double-double versus Atlanta on September 23rd with 17 points and 11 rebounds. The Cavs are 2-2 going into tomorrow night's game versus the Clippers. So, Skyler, Evan Mobley, obviously impressive. We watched him in the playoffs last year. Do you think he can hold on to that Rookie of the Year hype?
I absolutely do. This guy has 72 contested shots, more than anyone in the NBA, and so I think he's going to be a generational defensive talent who can really do it all.
I agree. Offense, defense, he's cleaning it up in the paint and working on the long shot. I think that he would be solid.
Coming up, a new segment featuring people making a difference in their communities. We'll meet a coach beating the odds.
Mientras cantas esta canción, tus manos limpias estarán. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ahora seco.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial
acerca este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles, rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
Tonight we start a new series called Making a Difference. We'll be introducing you to people you probably never heard of, but they're making lives better for all kinds of people. Annenberg Media's Nicole Sharon introduces us to a golf coach who shares his love of the game with players who may surprise you.
Brett Lang started playing golf as a young boy, but when he was 45, his life was changed forever.
I was diagnosed with MS about 14 years ago, and for the first, I would say 3, 4, 5 years, I spent in a huge pool of depression.
He found getting back into golf as a way to escape his depression, and then he found golf could do a lot more than just that.
When you find something like this where the sport itself has allowed you to come out of your own stupor, I felt obligated to give back now to others that are less fortunate, and using the game that I love, which is golf. There we go, now we found the spot.
Damon Whitaker has been able to continue his love of golf.
He has, of course, made my swing a whole lot better. Every time I see him and he gives me some instructions, it's always an improvement.
Before Brett Lang was diagnosed with MS, he played in numerous golf tournaments all around the world, and he definitely had his fair share of medals. But now his podium is the athletes that he helps.
I'm seeing things done for the very first time in a person's life and being a part of it. Yeah, that's where the reward is.
Giving back to others is his true passion, and he refuses to let MS get in the way. For Annenberg Media, I'm Nicole Sheeran.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Marilyn Parra.
And I'm Gabriella Rudy. Good night, everyone.